Everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 10 and compare it against the iPhone 16 and see which particular phone is a better one for you. Now, the thing I would definitely tell you between both of these devices is that these two devices are very, very interesting. The iPhone 10 is many years old, and obviously, if you have all the money, go for the iPhone 16. This is a significantly better phone. But I still think with the iPhone 10, it still surprises me sometimes, and honestly, I still love the iPhone 10 for sure. So, if you do want to pick up some phones that I would recommend buying for the cheapest prices I can find, links will be down in the description. You can get that from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Starting off with the outside of both these phones, the iPhone 10 came out back in 2017, so it's like 7 years old now, which is crazy. And when you look at it, it doesn't even look like a 7-year-old phone, does it? Maybe the notch is annoying, but it doesn't really look that bad. On the front of it, you're getting this 5.8-inch, Retina OLED display. And this was the first iPhone to bring an OLED display, and it is a very good display still. It's not perfect, it doesn't get the brightest, it's only 60 Hz and it has a notch up top, but it still looks pretty good, right? I still think this type of panel still looks pretty sharp, the viewing angles are okay, and for a fairly old phone, I think this phone still kind of knocks it out of the park in some cases. Now with the iPhone 16, on the other hand, this particular phone is giving you a larger 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this is without a doubt a better panel for sure. Like if you're going to go and buy a display, this one is better, it's bigger, it's brighter. The same refresh rate though, so still at 60 Hz. You're getting the dynamic island at the very top. So not anything super insane we haven't seen before, but I would say this panel looks better than the iPhone 10. But the iPhone 10 has aged wonderfully for the last couple of years. Now another interesting thing is with the sides of them. The iPhone 10 had this reflective side to it. The iPhone 16 has this non-reflective like standard side. This used to be a premium feeling phone and it still is, but the iPhone 16 is probably more modern since it is a flat side now. You're also getting the action button at the top of the iPhone 16, nothing at the top of these. You were getting a lightning port on the bottom of the iPhone 10, where you're getting a USB Type-C port on the bottom of the iPhone 16. So USB Type-C is significantly better in almost every single way than the iPhone 10, and I do think that in and of itself is a very, very big thing going on for that type of phone. So me personally, I love having this type of capability on this phone. On the other side, you're getting a camera button on the iPhone 16. So that is something that's kind of nice to have if you're getting some sort of a camera button. It's just really nice to have that. Take pictures, take photos. The iPhone, obviously, the iPhone 10 doesn't have it. And then you have the power buttons right up here. On the back side, you're getting dual camera setups on both, which is very nice to have. But these are a little bit different. I'll explain that in a little bit later. The iPhone 10 has this standard glass back on the back side of this, where the iPhone 16 has this, frosted glass back. And having a frosted glass back, I would say, is significantly better than this standard glass back. And I do think that in and of itself is a very big, nice thing to keep in mind inside of that phone as well. Wireless charging on both. The iPhone 16 has that MagSafe capability here, which is really nice. IP certification on both as well. And I definitely would tell you, if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, I would say the iPhone 16 is probably going to be the better one here in almost every single way. But I do think the iPhone 10 still holds up pretty well from a body standpoint. It's still really, really surprising to me. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. Now in terms of software longevity, it's kind of clear which one's going to be the longer lasting one here. The iPhone 10 is pretty much already done getting software support, and it has kind of been done getting software support for a year or two now. So that is kind of a disadvantage for this type of phone. If you're going to go through and pick up a device, the iPhone 10 is already kind of missing out there in some ways. The iPhone 16 is just getting started with software. So this phone has a long software support ahead of it. And if you're planning on getting a phone, this one is definitely going to be the one that's going to be giving you a longer lasting device in almost every single way. And I think that's a really big thing to keep in mind here too. So now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 16 has that Apple A18 chip inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 10 has that Apple A11 Bionic chip inside of it with 3 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background, so let us get into it. I don't know what's going on with my iPhone 10. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, music 3, 2, 1. Okay, the iPhone 16 is faster here. The iPhone 10 definitely taking its time for sure. So that one took a little bit of time there. Let's get into their app stores 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 16 was faster here. The iPhone 10 definitely taking its time. So you can kind of see from right there that, what the difference kind of lies. But it is interesting because with the iPhone 10, once it's loaded, it's good. But once you're in the application, or to load the application, it definitely does take some time. Even there, it takes a longer period of time to even click into it, which is kind of interesting. So, not saying the iPhone 16 is the fastest iPhone ever, because the iPhone 16 Pro is faster. But even in basic things like loading up the settings app, it's like there's a big difference there. Even swiping between the pages. I don't know if you all are able to tell, but there's some glitches going on with the iPhone 10 for sure, which is expected because it is an older phone, so it's not that surprising. Subway Surfers 3, 2, 1. So this one again is going to be a little interesting. So this one we already got into the ad, and this one's already good to go. This one's ready to play. The iPhone 10, you can see, definitely does take its time, which is totally okay. Getting into the actual game, let's see how many glitches there are between both, and both are kind of okay there. Hopping out of both of these, let's get into something like stack 3, 2, 1. So even right there, you can see there was a pretty big difference opening up the application. And this one's already ready to go. And the iPhone 10, I don't know if it's frozen. Okay, so it wasn't frozen. And you can see, how, big of a difference it was there for sure. The actual game itself was glitchy a little bit on the iPhone 10, then it kind of got fixed a little bit later. And let's go and load up Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. Now, I will tell you, the jump from an iPhone 10 to an iPhone 16 from a performance perspective is going to be massive. You can just see how much longer things take on the iPhone 10. Now, granted, this thing has smaller, lower battery health. There's going to be some issues and glitches, but even an issue like that, why did it shouldn't have taken even that long usually. So this iPhone also has a lower battery health, but I don't think it's on battery throttling or anything like that either. So that took an abnormal amount of time on that phone, but it's totally understandable. It's totally okay. So if you're wanting the faster phone, definitely the iPhone 16 by far is going to be giving you that overall better experience in almost every single way than something like the iPhone 10. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part as well. Now from the camera side of things, like I mentioned before, the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 16 are both giving you dual camera setups. However, a big thing to keep in mind is that they are very different. The iPhone 16 has a wide and ultra-wide camera, iPhone 10 wide and telephoto lens. Both are giving you 4K on the back, but the iPhone 16 is giving you 4K at 60 on the front and the back. The iPhone 10 is giving you 4K at 30 on the back, I think, and then 1080p on the front side. Now, with something like the iPhone 10, what I can definitely tell you is that this type of camera, right, it was good when it first came out. You're getting 10x zoom, which is nice. On the outside, you're getting only 1x zoom, so you're not getting like the 0.5x zoom. And I remember when this used to be white. That's actually surprising. You're getting video mode, slow mode, time lapse, square mode, portrait mode, but nothing else super crazy. Like I said, it's a pretty basic type of camera, and that's kind of what you're expecting in like today's day and age for the most part. With something like the iPhone 16, significantly better camera. This camera is going to be better in almost every single way. So you're already getting 10x zoom on the side of this phone, even though it doesn't have a telephoto lens. And then you're getting 0.5x zoom as well. So it is already a better zooming in, zooming out than the iPhone 10. You're getting video mode, cinematic mode, slow mode, time lapse, and you're getting portrait mode, like you're getting in spatial mode. So there's a lot of good stuff here inside of this camera that's already better than the iPhone 10. So definitely a better camera for sure as well. And I'll probably do a full camera comparison at some point. But what I will tell you is that between both of these devices, if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, the iPhone 16 is a clear winner. Significantly faster, better camera quality, camera button. You're getting, a better feeling phone overall, better battery life, a longer lasting phone. Basically, every single way you can imagine this phone is better. Again, as I say, the only advantage the iPhone 10 has is that it is a cheaper phone. But even at that, I still think in some ways this phone is actually pretty good. Like it's a very decent phone for how old it is. But I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy it because it's done getting software support. If you don't want to pick up either one of these, you can also buy something like an iPhone 12 or an iPhone 13 that sit right in the middle of these two phones. And those would be really good options for the average person as well. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.